After watching that game, seeing Brian Hoyer out there, shit the bed, and then AOC coming in doing what he did, Jimmy G gives us the best chance to win. I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing because he was like,
"You need to smarten up. Fire Josh McDaniels."
He said, "Smarten up, Mark. Fire Josh McDaniels,
I was
man."
fucking dying.
Do you think that Mark Davis should sell the Raiders?
I really don't give a fuck. That's just the truth. Y'all know what it is, Raiders, bitch.
Just win, baby. Let's go. What is going on, Raider Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Us Nation Podcast, episode 15, with your boy Simone Raider and my co-host,
Mr. Fitz. Y'all know what it is, Raiders, bitch.
And we are coming off of a huge loss, man. Last week we looked on paper and it looked like an easy win for us, after coming off of back-to-back victories, man. I was even saying it in the last episode, man. I don't want to get my hopes up too high because it always seems like the team we're supposed to beat, we don't really be, especially knowing the Raiders. We've been through this story many, many times, but we lost to the 1-5 Chicago Bears.
Fucking the Bears.
The Bears. We got our asses whipped, bro. 30-12.
Embarrassing, bro. There's no words to describe that fucking loss.
We lost to a backup quarterback. Now say we
he was in
Division 2?
Division 2?
See, I mean, it don't really, like, all that other stuff outside of that, it really doesn't matter because there's a lot of quarterbacks that came from nothing and became greats, But, Division 2 quarterback, what's his name? Tyson Bagent? I don't know how to say his name. But, yeah, Bagent, man, he went out there and he proved himself, man. He looked great. I mean, maybe it's because he was playing the Raiders,
Fuck, bro. Leave it to the Raiders to make him look like a fucking all-star, bro.
I mean, we had a lot of, even after the 2 wins, not a lot of Raider fans were excited about the Raiders going into a lot of people thought we were going to win, but there was still a lot of Raider fans that weren't sold on this team, But we go to Chicago and we lose 30-12, and now we are 3-4. Tyson, whatever his name is, had a solid day, man. 21 for 29.
Tyree Wilson?
No. Tyson Bagent.
Oh, yeah.
The quarterback. Went 21-29, 162 yards, and 1 touchdown. But one guy that really...
Dante Fournette, bro.
Who?
Was it Dante? What's his name?
Dante Foreman, bro.
Whatever. Whatever that dude's name is. That motherfucker sucks so bad.
Bro,
but had 3 touchdowns on the goddamn Raiders, bro.
He did, bro. 3 touchdowns on
Not to mention Evans just running amok, too, on the fucking Raiders, bro.
Yeah, it was all bad on all fronts, man. I'm not going to lie. This is actually the first game in a while that I actually got to watch the game at home. I got to enjoy it from the comfort of my house. So comfortable that I knocked out all of third quarters. It was like, bro, after watching this game, after seeing how they looked out there, I mean, I had a little bit of hope, going into the game. We had that talk.
I had more hope when AOC came in with 5 minutes
left. that is one thing that a lot of fans were talking about going into that game. Obviously, if you guys watched the last episode, we actually recorded it before they announced the quarterback that was going to start. Whether it was going to be Brian Hoyer or AOC, obviously, Big Us.
AOC.
Big AOC fan. I thought that they should just ride off of the momentum of Brian Hoyer. If he went out there and shit the bed, then we know that we shouldn't use him anymore. And he went out there and shit the bed. Brian Hoyer.
That's an understatement.
He looked bad out there. How did he look in the game, man? Brian Hoyer, 17 out of 32, 129, had 2 interceptions, sacked only 1 time.
One was a pick 6, too.
It was a pick 6, yeah.
He was just like, go ahead.
Was it a pick 6?
Yes, it was. It was a pick 6.
That was an AOC?
Nope.
Okay. We'll get to that.
Pick 6 was...
It was a pick 6.
Stevenson. Was it Stevenson? Or whatever. The cornerback caught it, ran it back for it made it 30 or whatever.
Yeah. I stopped paying attention after a while, to be honest with you.
You're probably sleeping for that part.
Yeah, I was probably sleeping through it. I seen that it was an interception, but it was a bad game overall, man. We lost to a backup quarterback. We did have a backup quarterback. We finally got to see your guy up in there, AOC.
Yep.
He didn't really look too good either,
Oh, stop it. He threw one interception. Oh, I mean, you throw him in there with almost 5 minutes left. You're down by, 20 points, whatnot, and he's over there trying to make something happen. Yeah, he threw 1 interception, but he did one thing that Brian Hoyer didn't do the whole fucking game was get one touchdown with 2 minutes left or whatnot. So
but at that point,
if he was in there the whole game, it would have been a whole different scenario.
Yeah, 5 interceptions.
No, the Raiders would have took. I'm telling you, AOC was in there from start to finish. It would have been us. We would have won.
So yeah, he scored a touchdown, but that was against like third stringers at the time. No.
No, you weren't even watching it. It was the same fucking defense.
Okay, yeah, no. Okay, yeah, he did score a touchdown, but when he did come in, he didn't look too sharp out there. I know he still had to warm up. I know they threw him in there, but
they're like, "Go ahead, try it, kid."
So what I took out of it after watching that game, seeing Brian Hoyer out there, shit the bed, and then AOC coming in doing what he did, Jimmy G gives us the best chance to win. End of the day. No. Come on. You know what's funny? A lot of Raider fans was on my ass when I said that. I posted it. I forgot where, but I said, after seeing how bad those two quarterbacks looked out there, I don't blame AOC for looking the way he did. He did get thrown in there. I'm not gonna lie. He should have been thrown in there at halftime because the first half,
quarter.
Maybe. But you know what? Like I say, like the only reason why I gave Brian Hoyer any benefit of the doubt was because just because of how he looked against the Patriots. He looked solid, and I even held my expectations back because I knew he was coming in. He didn't score no points. All he had to do was keep the lead and win the game, and that's what he did. He had two big throws, which a lot of Raider fans got excited, including me. But I needed to see more, which I felt like, hey, let's see what he does in this game against an easy matchup against the Chicago Bears. And he shit the bed.
Well, what? He had 12 starts in his career, I think it was.
I forgot what it was, but yeah.
And he's never won any of those games. And we should have took it. It's like, okay, what's going to be a difference if he starts this game? Fuck him, put AOC in.
No, yeah. And I thought, you know what? I wanted him to start, and I seen that stat, and I still was like, fuck it, bro. Like, maybe it's going to change today. And we quickly found out that he's the guy that we all knew he was, which is a clip holder, a clipboard holder. And I was wrong on that. I'm not gonna lie, I can admit that I was wrong. That AOC should have started. How better would AOC have been?
Who would have won?
I can't say that. I don't know.
I know.
He could have probably thrown for 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and 4 picks.
Maybe like at 5.
The end of the day, yeah. Picks, interceptions.
No, touchdown.
Okay, I don't know what would have happened if AOC was to play and start. It could have been better. I think so. I don't know how much better, but I feel like if Jimmy G played that game, we would have won easily. Jimmy gives us the best chance to win because he knows this offense. He practiced with this offense. He at least can move down the field and get the job done. He might not throw for 300+ yards, but he can go down the field. In the red zone, that's where he shines the most. He could get the points on the board. The defense also didn't look good out there. I'm not going to lie. They made Tyson look great out there. The defense didn't look like the same defense that we've seen the past 2 games.
No. They shit the bed on that one.
Does that give the offense an excuse? No. I feel like the offense really dropped the ball, and there's a lot of things that went into that. Now, one guy that a lot of people talk about the most is Josh McDaniels, especially after this loss.
Yeah.
After a loss, Raider fans are quick to go to firing Josh McDaniels. I mean, there's a lot of Raider fans that already wanted to fire him before the season even started. But especially after this game, losing to the Bears, putting in Brian Hoyer when all the fans said put in AOC. But
yeah, I mean, if you watch that video with, I think it's Vegas Ralph. You saw that?
I'm going to get to that too.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the fans are mad. I can't blame them. We're mad. I'm mad, But a lot of people overlook a lot of things that happen in the game. I feel like Josh McDaniels is probably one of the most unlucky coaches, and he's probably not the brightest coach either. His play calling is sus at times, but a lot of things don't pan out his way. You think about it in this game, Daniel Carlson missed a field goal. Brian Hoyer had a touchdon wide open to Davante Adams.
Carlson, he was dealing with a groin injury.
So
I cut him some slack for missing the field goal.
Okay, that's fine. I cut the Raiders some slack because Jimmy G wasn't playing, so it's all good, But getting back to Daniel Carlson missed a easy field goal. Davante Adams, a guy that voiced his opinions last week about being great and
he dropped
and wanting to get the stats out there over the wins, whatever it may be. Davante Adams dropped a wide open touchdown. Which Brian Hoyer should be having a touchdown right now, but that was on Devontae Adams. I don't care how people want to go on and make it seem, because they were like, oh, the sun was in his eye, it was over his shoulder, yada. Devontae Adams is a top 3 receiver, and he's not 3 or 2. You expect him to make those plays, and he was wide open. So that's another big loss. There was a lot of other things that happened that just didn't go our way. What do you think? Should the Raiders fire Josh McDaniels?
I mean, if I worked for the organization, I would fire him.
Right now?
Right now. I mean, I'm tired of I don't care if he's the unluckiest guy in the world. I mean, this is my opinion, my God-given opinion. You know what I mean? I'm not a professional. I don't work for the Raiders, so it's completely up to them. But if I was in charge, honestly, you know, speaking as a fan, I'd get rid of him, because some of the shit he does is just fucking crazy. Like kicking the field goal with fucking 9 minutes left on the clock and we're down by 3 touchdowns. Like, motherfucker, go for it.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? So
it's kind of crazy to me, because like I'm on both sides, kind of. Like, yeah, right now, like right after the game, I was like, get rid of the motherfucker. But then, you know, shout out to Joe Morley. You know, I seen his video and stuff like that. And I got, you know, I always get some time to relax after the game and kind of think about things through. I would fire him after this season. To me, you know, I don't know who could step up right now to take over that could do any better of a job. We're in this shit right now. He's what we got right now. Fuck it. Let's see how the journey is for the rest of the season. If the wheels fall off, they fall off.
Yeah.
And then we move on. Maybe we can move on. Maybe we can't. If we do move on, it's going to be another big cap hit on us to move on to another head coach. But then I see the other side of it. Like, we can't build any kind of consistency if we keep moving on to the next coach, the next coach, the next coach. So I don't know. I don't know how to think.
Yeah, you're right on that. I mean, we've dealt with a shitload of coaches. I mean, that's the fan talking to me, but like I said, the organization, I mean, from back to what I was saying earlier, Vegas Ralph or whatever, when he was saying fire Josh McDaniels in the video, you could see Mark Davis standing up. You know what I mean? He was like trying to explain, you know. But, I mean, I would have did different things differently if I was Ralph. I would have tried to get some answers out of him.
Yeah.
But it's obvious that fucking McDaniels ain't going nowhere.
I think that's the truth.
We're stuck with him whether we like him or not. We don't work for the organization. We can rant and bitch all we want, boycott, whatnot. But he is stuck with the Raiders. We're stuck with him as a coach. So
it's going to be tough, man. It's a tough decision to make, because if the Raiders keep looking like this, then it's going to be hard not to fire him. To be honest, you know, like, there's a lot of fans that don't want him here. But if he does pull one out, if we do have a better season than we did last year, maybe 8-9 wins, even though they don't look pretty out there, then he might be staying around for a while. And I think Raider fans just have to suck it up and accept it. It's just kind of tough. And speaking on that, you know, Vegas Ralph, you know, I don't know if he was the same fan last year that said bench McDaniels and he got kicked out the stadium or some shit like that.
I think he is.
Yeah, I don't know if that's him, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. So there was this clip that's been going around Raider Nation. If you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure if you're not living under a rock, you've probably seen the video. Let's put it into context real quick. Obviously, shout out to the Las Vegas Aces. Yep. They won back-to-back champions. And that's what makes it even worse, Oos, is the fact that these other Vegas teams are winning, Oos.
Everybody's winning but the fucking Raiders.
We are a championship town now. Everybody doubted Las Vegas for being a sports town, but there's no doubt that Las Vegas can be a sports town. And
Aces, Golden Knights, now Aces with a back-to-back, you know what I mean?
And now the Golden Knights are going to be, they're going to be out there defending their reigning title.
Yeah.
And the Raiders are just the Raiders.
Once the Raiders put AOC in, you know,
oh my gosh,
then we have a chance of being champions.
And when we put AOC in the game, if he goes and starts for the rest of the season, look for us to get that #1 overall pick next year.
Oh, hell no.
I'll just joke it. But hey, anything can happen. AOC can step up. I don't know what can happen. We've seen in 2021 how shit can turn into gold, and maybe that can happen. Who knows? It's kind of early, and it's halfway through the season, so we'll see what can happen.
Yeah.
But like I said, shout out to the Aces. They won a championship. Everybody's winning but the Raiders. And they just had their parade, obviously, to celebrate their championship. And Raider fans wouldn't really care for it at all if they didn't see old Marky Mark out there celebrating with the Aces.
He was out there turned up.
Yeah, obviously Mark Davis is a owner or a partner. I don't know. He's an owner of the Las Vegas Aces, and he was out there celebrating with the Aces like he should because he's celebrating his team winning.
Yep.
Raider fans see that, and they're pissed off. He should be spending more time on the Raiders. Oh, he cares more about the WNBA. This is why his dad should have fucking wore a condom, whatever. You know? But all that, you know, a lot of Raider fans are mad because he's out there celebrating. He's going out there quoting the Raiders, just win, baby, with the Aces. And they just feel like he doesn't care about the Raiders. And then we got to see Vegas Ralph over there with the Fire McDaniels sign. You know, everybody has their opinion, and that's fine, you know. And he was out there voicing it out to Mark Davis. And shout out to our Us. He was out there too, you know, security Mark Davis. Yeah. But yeah, he was up in his face saying Fire McDaniels, and you could hear Mark Davis say, you know, I hear you. And obviously, like you said,
but you know,
but you know, there's so much that Mark Davis can do. You know, he hired the guy, and he gave Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels the keys to run this football team.
Yeah.
Mark Davis is not the football guy. He's not the guy that's going to make all the moves here and there. He's going to be the guy in charge of bringing in Josh McDaniels. And whatever Josh McDaniels does, I know goes back to Mark Davis, but you can't blame the guy so much for wanting to go out there and celebrate with his team.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I feel like it's kind of weird that Raider fans are mad at the dude for celebrating with the Aces and going off on a dude. Like, the dude can't celebrate his team winning, you know? To me, I think it's kind of weird. As far as, you know, Ralph talking to him, I mean, he has his own opinions out there. I feel like Raider fans still, there should be a better way of talking to Mark Davis, but I understand maybe Mark Davis won't listen if you don't yell at the dude. Who knows? But, you know, I think he could have got a lot more out of him because it did sound like he wanted to talk more about it.
Yeah, I think Mark Davis would have opened up if he would have stopped yelling at him.
I'm not going to lie. I was laughing because he was like,
you need to smarten up. Fire Josh McDaniels.
He said, smarten up, Mark. Fire Josh McDaniels, man.
I was fucking dying.
and hey, if we fire McDaniels, I'm fine with it. If we don't,
it is what it is.
I'm here for the ride. It is what it is. Yeah,
I'm loyal to the soil. We don't fire him. I'm still going to be at the games. I'm still going to be tailgating, fucking with the nation. You know what I mean?
Maybe we're the problem. We should be boycotting, but we're not. We're over there in the win club still like, let's go Raiders.
Walking out hella sad and shit.
Walking out hella sad, mad, and it's like, yeah, that's what I told you. But, I mean, everybody has their opinions, you know. What do you think? Should Mark Davis be happy? What do you think about seeing Mark Davis celebrating? Like,
I mean, as a businessman, you have your investments, whether it's the Raiders, you have the Aces, whether you have fucking strip club or whatever the case may be. You're celebrating your achievements with that business. Yeah. You know what I mean? He has the right to be happy about the Aces winning. You know, it sucks being a Raider fan and us losing.
Yeah.
But he has a right to celebrate with back-to-back champions, which is the Aces.
Yeah. Do you think that Mark Davis should sell the Raiders?
I really don't give a fuck. That's just the truth. Sell, keep. It is what it is. I'm a Raider fan. I'm going to be around.
I don't get it either. Like, I asked that because obviously there's a lot of fans saying, Mark Davis, just sell the freaking Raiders right now. Why? I don't get it. Like, I know it would be better if we had a football mind up there. And you know what's funny? Mark Davis cares about the fans so much that during the pandemic year, he didn't even show up to the stadium because he said, I'm going to be there when the Raider fans, when the Raider Nation can come, I'll be there. And all these motherfuckers want this dude to leave, bro. I'm like, bro, you know, it does suck being an owner, especially being the owner of the Raiders. Not only that, he's the son of Al Davis, which a lot of people are expecting him to be the next guy to groom the Raiders. We should be seeing championships, but running an NFL team is much harder than running a WNBA team. Who's winning a championship is not that easy.
No.
I mean, just getting into the playoffs, who's for us, has been not that easy, you know?
What, 2 times out of 23?
2 times since 2003. So it's a lot 20. Of years. It was 20 years.
20 years. We've only made an appearance twice in the playoffs. God damn.
All bad. It was all bad. But
you know, just thinking about it, we survived the Jamarcus Russell era. Yeah, I mean, so we can get through this shit.
We've been through worse. But Raider fans don't want to hear that. And a lot of Raider fans like, oh, they should come back to Oakland. Chill, bro. You think about it, how many years have we been here in Vegas?
4 now.
4. So take away Oakland, take away LA. 4 years being in Vegas, we have 1 playoff appearance. not that bad. You know,
you're right.
When you think about it, like, I mean, I know a lot of Oakland fans don't want to hear it and stuff like that, but as far as the Las Vegas Raiders,
we're tied up.
We've
only been here 4 years.
There has been ups and downs, but we've been in the playoffs one time, you know, out of 4 years. Hopefully things can turn around. Maybe it won't with Josh McDaniels. A lot of people want Mark Davis to sell the team. I'm on the same boat as you. I don't give a fuck. I don't think that he should. He's done a lot for the Raiders organization so far. It's just up to whoever he brings in to go out there and get the job done, whether it's Josh McDaniels or somebody else. I felt like John Gruden could have probably had it rolling right now, but his old emails kind of creeped up on him. So make sure when you get famous, you got to delete a lot of your TikToks.
Oh, hell no.
And your emails.
Hell no. I don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean?
Joking.
I grew up in an era where comedy was whatever the fuck you wanted to be. You make fun of any situation. But that's my favorite.
Yeah, I know. But say you're a millionaire now, and that old past fucks with you right now. Your employer, whatever it is, looks at that and can't have you no more. Do you still give a fuck about what you had in the past or whatever?
No.
So if you lose your job, fuck it. Whatever.
Fuck it. You know what I mean?
I like that.
I am who I am. You know what I mean? I mean, even when I blew up somewhat on social media so far,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I've had big-ass content creators come after me for the shit I've said, for the skits I've done. I don't pay them no attention. You know what I mean? Being quiet is like a big fuck you. You know what I mean? Suck my dick. I win. So
because they want that reaction out of you.
Yeah. So you take it how, you know what I mean? I haven't been canceled yet. Knock on wood.
That's not wood.
You know what I mean? There's wood in there. There's wood in there. So you know what I mean? I talk my shit. I come from a different era where comedy was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because we pointed out, you know, that comedy pointed out all the weak shit, the funny shit, bias, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? So if you're sensitive, my content is not for you. Go watch fucking Teletubbies or something.
Speaking of Teletubbies, no, I'm joking. Just joking. No. Okay, so real quick. So let me put you in Mark Davis's shoes right now. Right now.
All right, I'm Mark Davis.
Everything that he's been doing right now, everything that he's been going through, especially with the Raider fans, how would you handle this situation?
I would sit down with some reputable people in the nation.
Yeah.
Whether it's us or other people, Mark Davis.
I like how you like the scenarios.
I would sit down with us, people that have a reach in the nation, and have a civilized conversation like men.
Like
I said last week in last week's episode, you know what I mean? Kids do kid shit, men do men shit. Sit down, let's have a conversation about it. Let's see where you're coming from as a business owner, or the owner of the Raiders, and we get your word out there.
That is true. Your side of the story. So on the next episode of the Usos Nation podcast,
we got special guest Joey.
So if you want to come and sit down and tell the nation how you feel, get it off your chest without us, you know, saying
we're not going to scrutinize you. We're not going to give you a hard time.
We're not going to yell, fire Josh McDaniels. We'll probably whisper it, but
we just want to hear, you know, what you got to say, you know, and your plans with Josh McDaniels and the whole nation. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, he doesn't have to say shit and prove nothing to anybody. That's his choice and whatnot. But it would be nice for the fans to hear from you and what you got going on and what's really coming out of your mind.
Yeah.
What's going on in your mind. So tap in with the Who's Nation.
No, for sure.
Go tag him in the Raiders in the comments on this reel.
Yeah, no, I think he should. I think a lot of people would have more respect if he came out and talked about it. At least from his perspective. I know it's not easy to say that he could just go and talk about it because it's all behind the scenes and all that. But I think just seeing that side of him, at least for the fans, a lot of people would kind of respect him for it.
So come fuck with us.
No, for sure. If you want to come and talk, get it out your chest, man. We ain't going to be screaming at you, man.
Yeah.
You know, we're smartening up right now by asking you, you know, if you want to come in, talk. But, you know, I know it's not an easy position to be in, especially with a lot of oppressed Raider fans out there that's been going through the worst of the worst. One guy that has been going through some worse days has been Hunter Renfro's. Some news came out. Shout out to Jordan Schultz that the Raiders and Hunter Renfro are both motivated to get a trade going before the deadline. So, you know, Hunter Renfro's days are numbered for sure in the silver and black. Will he actually be gone? Who knows? I don't know what he will get, what we would get in return. Maybe I would say somewhere around a 4th, 5th round pick, 6th round pick. You know, I'm not expecting too much out of him. I don't know how much dead cap it will be. Do I think that it's the right move for the Raiders?
Yes.
Yes, I think it's the right move for the Raiders to move on from him. We already got enough weapons here. We don't need to keep him on board. We're paying him a lot of money. But it's good that the Raiders are actually giving him permission to go find a trade partner. How do you feel about that?
I mean, like I said in last week's episode, I would trade him. So I'm glad that they're trying to get a deal done, you know, to have him gone. He's talented. He is one of my favorite slot receivers, or whatever you want to call it. He is the GOAT when it comes to the 1-2-3 step. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm glad. He's going to go to another team. He's going to show his talents. He's going to ball out wherever he's at. You know, much love to him and what he did for the silver and black. But, yeah.
If you could name a team right now, what team do you think that would fit him the best? That would be a good trade partner for the Raiders.
Cowboys.
Why?
Because you got CeeDee Lamb over there and Brandon Cooks. Adding Renfro over there would be a nice little combo. I mean, that would be nice for the Cowboys.
One team I think that would be a good fit for him, especially with everything going on right now, is the New Orleans Saints. Maybe he go play.
Man, fuck the Saints.
Maybe he go play with that quarterback that made him pretty good, you know. And now that Chris Olave, you know, got arrested the other day for speeding,
that was it. He was only going 70 in a 25 or something.
He was going 35 miles per hour over the speed limit. That's a big no-nos.
I do that. I mean, everybody does that.
Well, it's illegal only if you get caught. So
yes,
he got caught.
I mean,
you see what he was trying to say. You know, I play for the Saints.
And I was like, and
the fuck does that mean? Like, you know, but
I gotta try that one time. One of these times I get pulled over, like I have a shitload of followers on Instagram.
Like, oh, bruh. No, but I think the Saints would be solid. You know, especially because you know. Derek Carr's over there.
Man, fuck the goddamn
And then you
Saints.
got Foster Moreau over there, Mr. Butterfingers. You know, they got a lot of people over there, ex-Raiders, whatever, but I think they do need a wide receiver, especially with Chris Olave. And since we're on the subject of the Saints, you know,
I want to watch the Monday night game. Was it Monday night?
Yeah, it wasn't a Monday night game, but it was
Sunday.
Oh, a Thursday night game. It was a Thursday night.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Derek Carr. I know, he's not a part of the team. Who gives a fuck? Everybody's still going to talk about him because he was an ex-Raider. Everybody's been talking about how Derek Carr was going to go over there and be great.
He's struggling in a weak-ass division.
Just give him a defense. Give him weapons.
He got a defense. He got weapons over there.
And they're
what else?
And they're in the same position as us. We're both 3-4.
Yeah.
So
not to mention, I mean, that whole first half of Thursday Night Football was ass. That Derek Carr didn't do shit. Just like he did on the Raiders, he would suck in the first half and then come out balling on the fuck. I saw the same shit he was doing on the Saints that he was doing for us.
We've been telling these guys.
Yes.
Telling the Saints fans out
Preach.
there. Derek Carr is just not him, bro.
No.
It don't matter how you slice it. He's still going to be the same guy.
He's
the
not
same
him.
player. But you know what? I gave him the benefit of the doubt because he was going to a situation that had a better defense. Again, we're early in the season right now. A lot can change. Same with our team. A lot of people want to write off the Raiders right now. We'll see.
Yeah.
Same with the Saints. But like you said, they're in a worse division than us, a winnable division. He's got weapons, so there's no excuse there. He's got protection. He's missing wide open receivers. We seen that clip. Yelling at Chris
Olave. Yelling at receivers for messing up, but the ball was nowhere near him.
He was expecting Chris Olave to go
jump 17 feet in the air, out of bounds, inbounds.
He was expecting Chris Olave to go 35 miles per hour outside just to get the balls. He was yelling
when
at
I saw that shit, I was like, "What the fuck is he yelling at?"
He was like, "Go over there." I was like, bro,
like, your ball was like towards the fucking bench, bro.
There's already some Saints fans that are starting to see the light.
Yeah.
They know that he's probably not the guy. People are wanting Jameis Winston to start right now, you know? But we seen that clip on Instagram or a mic'd up session, Trayvon Walker basically telling Derek Carr, it wasn't there, bro.
Yeah.
you yelling for nothing, my guy. It wasn't there, and he's yelling like, bro, you're making me look better.
Hey.
Okay, I hate talking shit, but I like talking shit about Derek Carr because there's always been
the Kardashians, bro.
It's to the Kardashians. To Derek Carr, I still like the guy. I still root for him. But when I see shit like that, it's like, I told you so.
Yep.
You know, we've been telling you. Even if he was even with the Raiders situation right now, the quarterback situation, they're like, oh, see, we should never let go of Derek Carr, or Derek Carr wasn't the problem, huh? No, motherfucker, he wasn't the solution.
Yeah, he wasn't.
We would be doing the same shit right now with Derek Carr. We're just doing it for a lot cheaper now, you know? Whether it's Jimmy G, Brian Hoyer, or Aiden O'Connell, we're doing the same shit. But at the end of the day, you know, we're still in the same situation. The Saints ain't doing that much better than the Raiders. The Raiders ain't doing that much better than the Saints. We're just even keel right now. So moving on to at least some good news. Tyree Wilson, man.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations on his first sack.
He did get a sack, huh? Yeah. I was probably sleeping during that time.
Yeah, I think it was third quarter. I
forgot. But shout out to Tyree Wilson. He got his first sack, man. He had a 82.9 PFF grade versus the Bear, which is a career high. Hopefully, he can build on that momentum. Hopefully, we could see a better player moving forward. It has been a slow start for him. We had a lot of expectations for Tyree Wilson, but I don't think it's going to pan that way. I highly doubt that he'll be a defensive rookie of the year.
Oh, yeah, no.
I think that'll be...
Unless he starts coming out fucking ball swinging.
Yeah, I think Spoon might most likely take that honors with the way he's been playing so far. But, I mean, if he doesn't, I do want to see at least some kind of progression with Tyree Wilson. How do you feel about that?
Feel about him getting his first sack?
Just having a good game overall.
We need to see more consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, he was our #1 overall pick in this year's draft. We need to see more from him, not, you know.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
It's because we hold him to a much higher standard than a lot of the other players. Like I said with Cleveland Farrell, if he wasn't selected top 10, you know, Tyree, like Cleveland Farrell was, we wouldn't have that much expectation on him. But since we did, we expect him to be out the gate, a starter, you know, balling out, being a difference maker. But we just haven't seen that yet. We got to see a little bit of that this past game, and it really didn't matter because we still got our asses whooped.
Yeah, we still got mollywopped.
I would want to see him progress a lot more. And speaking of moving on to these other games, man, we got a huge game coming up this week. Monday Night Football. Raiders, Lions. It's not an easy
Detroit
matchup.
Pussycats.
It's not an easy matchup on paper, but maybe.
But they got exposed by fucking the Ravens this last week.
The Ravens are a good team. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, I would take a Raiders win over the Lions. Yeah. I would overlook that Bears loss if we win against the Lions.
We came off a horrible loss. Motherfuckers is going to be angry going into that game. They're going to want to show out. I'm going to go with the Raiders this week, bro.
I mean, we're going to go for the Raiders every week. Let's be honest. It's kind of tough. But I do feel a little bit better because we can't get any worse than we did last week. Especially against a team that we thought we could have beat. But we go against the Lions in Detroit, Monday Night Football. All eyes are on us, and I feel like we do good on Monday night. You see what we did against the Packers, and I think one big thing for the Raiders going into this game is hopefully getting Jimmy G back. Because if we do, I give us a better chance to win this game.
And if not, AOC.
Like I said, I at least got to see Brian Hoyer play one time to know that motherfucker
is dog shit.
Should never see the field again unless he's holding a clipboard or he's telling Aiden O'Connell what plays to run.
Yeah.
Outside of that, okay, Aiden O'Connell, we'll go out there with him, guns blazing. Whatever happens. But if Jimmy G's good to go, he's still going to be my #1 guy to start this week against the Detroit Lions. So with that said, what do the Raiders need to do? Let's name some keys to victory for the Raiders. I guess, I don't know. You want to start? Or
first thing I would say is motherfuckers on the defense need to step up a lot more. Like, perfect example, Marcus Peters. That motherfucker needs to. He talks so much shit. You see him on camera, whether you're at the games, but then you just want to tap. Oh, sorry. Marcus Peters, he need to step his shit up because we could have. There's like Steelers game. He could have got that pick 6, ran him back in. All this little shit with Marcus Peters, but he's getting angry and shit, and he ain't doing nothing. Marcus Peters, step it up.
So yours is basically Marcus Peters to step up. Yeah, and yeah, you're right. It frustrates me because all Raider fans are happy. You know, we're all hyped to get Marcus Peters over here, a veteran, a guy that's had a successful career at the end of his days. A lot of people want him in here because, he was a part of Oakland. He's an Oakland native, whatever. He comes over here, signs the contract, and doesn't do shit since he's been here, especially rocking that number 24.
Yeah.
I agree with you, man. He's got to step up his game.
You're disrespecting the jersey, bro.
I mean, a lot of people's disrespected that jersey. You know, Michael Huff, Jonathan. There's been a lot of people, but for him right now, man, he hasn't been living up to that contract that we all expected him to be. I mean, what could we expect? You know, we hyped the dude up a little bit too much, but I agree with you 100%. Him, as well as the secondary, needs to step up. Another key for me, I would say, is the O-line needs to step up.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Big time. Both pass blocking and run blocking. We haven't seen this O-line really dominate that much.
No.
And we haven't seen Josh Jacobs.
And not to mention, Josh Jacobs is getting anywhere from 12 to 20 carries a game. Yeah. And he ain't doing shit right now. That O-line needs to open it up for him.
And like I said, Josh Jacobs is looking like a shell of himself compared to last year. You look at his stats, this past game had 11 carries. Only 11 carries for 35 yards. And that's just not going to get the job done. If we want to take the load off of the quarterback, we need the running back to, you know, take a boatload of those carries and get those chunk yardage to help us out. And we just haven't been doing that, whether it's AOC out there, Jimmy G out there, Brian Hoyer this past weekend. We need the offensive line to dominate, especially against a team like the Lions, who has a solid defense, especially with the guy that leads the pack and Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
You know, so mine's is O-line needs to step up.
Coaching needs to step up.
That's true.
Stop running these fucking trickery fuck plays and fucking get down to business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would have to say coaching on all ends.
Yeah. Josh McDaniels definitely needs to do a better job. Even though I'm not like 100% on the fire Josh McDaniels train right now, he is on the hot seat right now. And he's got to do a much better job calling these plays, calling these games, and not being outcoached. And he's going to go against a Lions team that has a solid coach.
Yeah, I really like that coach. That's a good guy right there.
Who's their coach?
I don't know. It's the old white dude with the goatee.
Is it Dan Campbell?
Yeah, Campbell.
Okay. Yeah, Dan Campbell was doing a great job over there. But he's a solid coach. Yeah. And Josh McDaniels, if we want any chance of winning, he's got to do a better job out there out-coaching the Lions and Dan Campbell. Now,
he's done a lot with that team over there.
Yeah. My other key I would add on to that would be we need to apply pressure on Jared Goff.
Yes.
The defensive line has got to do outside of Max Crosby, man, we need more pressure from our other defensive linemen, man. If we could pressure Jared Goff enough, he'll make mistakes, and we just got to capitalize off of that.
Yep, facts.
And then
I would say another big one is our safeties need to step the fuck up, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
our safeties have been like fucking absent this whole fucking season.
Yeah.
Spillman. Is it Spillman? How do you Spillman? Spillane, whatever. Spillane, bro, has been more active than the goddamn safeties.
Spillman plays for the Oakland Raiders.
Whatever.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah, okay. So with that said, I mean, those are some keys that we have for the Raiders to at least try to come out with this victory on Monday night. Now, I'll just ask you this. At least one player. Let's just do one player then. One player that needs to step up in this game to give the Raiders a chance to win.
One player that needs to step up and have a hell of a game, Josh Jacobs.
I like that. And I know that kind of goes back to the offensive line, but yeah, I agree with you. If Josh Jacobs can go out there and have a game like we all know he can, at least 100-yard game, bro, we haven't seen that once this season. I think that'll give us a good chance. My guy, obviously, it's whoever plays quarterback, you know? But for me, it's AOC or Jimmy G, you know? Whoever's playing quarterback needs to command the field better, needs to find the right receivers, needs to put the ball in the right place. And then when we get into the red zone, be able to execute, you know? Offensively, I guess both of us, offensively, we're expecting them to step up because they're the guys that get the money, that get paid the big bucks. So I think the Raiders can come out of this game with a victory, but it's not easy. If we win this game, who knows if the Raider fans will come back and be cheering for this team when we come back against the New York Giants.
Hopefully not, because the tickets are hella cheap with everybody crying about the Raiders.
I mean, we won a game against the Packers, and the Patriots game was cheap.
Yeah, but I just looked again. I looked a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
It was down to 170.
Yeah, we're almost getting to Oakland, man. Almost. We got to lose a little bit more. No,
fuck that.
We need years of losing. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I mean, with that being said, though, Raider Nation, man, hopefully we go out there and win this week against the Detroit Lions, man.
Monday Night Football,
Monday Night Football, baby. Prime time. They keep putting us on prime time, man, so we got to deliver, Roos.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that said, before we head out of here, though, I want to give a huge huge shout out to Sub City Studios, as you guys already know, the home of the Usos Nation podcast. If you guys are looking for a place to shoot a podcast, start a podcast, man, this is the place where you guys tap in at Sub City Studios, man. But let the people know where they can find you.
Mr. Fitz 714, MR FITZ 714. Y'all know what it is. Raiders bitch, fuck your team. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And obviously, Asimo Raider on all platforms, man. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, the whole 9 yards, man. We'll see you guys for the next episode when we have our huge guest, Mark Davis. No, I'm just joking. But with that being said, Raider Nation, this your boy Asimo Raider and my Mr. Fitz. And we are
Peace.